I don't remember ever seeing a picture of myself as a child. And I don't think we had I don't think nobody took pictures back then, you know? I don't think so. I don't remember ever seeing a picture. And that's why, and I said, as far as the school was concerned, the records were all burnt up. Our records were destroyed. Jacksonboro Elementary School. Jacksonboro had 3 churches, I remember, that was here. And just families, houses all over, and lanes and stuff, you know. And all I know is that they were, I thought everybody was nice. I really did. Here, it was country bumpkins. School in the South, of course, we went to a little country elementary school where there was probably, I don't remember the amount of children, but like grade schools. And lunches, of course, we had to take our own lunch to school back then. You know, our parents had to pack lunches for us, you know. And that stuff would go in the back until time for us to go to lunch. And then we would go out for recess. We had recess. And then we got to go with the older kids and play with, you know, you played with those who you were with, whatever. But it was a board school. It wasn't a brick school. And it had the full pane windows, you know. And one story. It was not a 2-story thing. I remember that. In the country, it was different. We lived 3 miles away from the school. And during the winter months, it was really horrible because we did not have electricity in the school. And the stove that we had to heat up by, we had to wait. The room would be very cold, and the boys would have to go out and collect wood to put in the fire. And the water that we used in the school, the boys would have to go to this lady house, and I remember her name was Miss Bell. She was a real old and a mean old lady. Everything was in one class. You know, if you were, like for instance, if you were in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, that they were 4th grade teachers. One teacher taught the different grades, okay? And we didn't change classes until you got ready to go to high school. And people who had bigger houses and lived better, you know, maybe the husbands had better job. I don't know. They had more lands, and they were, you know, that were a lot of farmers, and they you know, whatever, had more. Teachers would come and rent with them, stay with, and these people homes during the school year. You know, because most of the teachers came from afar. The teacher would send everybody to Miss Gerardo, and she was like the former over all the teachers, right? And she would make us come and stand and hold our hands out. My thumb, I'd gone home with my thumb swollen from the whipping, you know, that she would give you so many chops. The white schools, you know, they had their schools and we had ours. I don't know what it was like for them. We know, of course, that, you know, there was a lot of prejudice during the time. And, of course, they treated you differently. But I really can't say the difference. I really can't say the difference. I don't remember any white kids in our class. We were all black. I mean, you know, we were mixed color, but we were all black. But I'll tell you one thing about your grandma. I loved her. I loved her so much. And because she was light, we had a few of the kids in the school, someone was our cousin. They were jealous of her. And Lenora was always smart and dressed well. We both dressed well because my mother sewed. And we dressed well, you know. and she had the long, pretty brown hair, and she looked good, and they would tease her, and I used to never got in a fight, but I used to be so angry because a lot of the kids would mock her, because, with you, whatever, they would, but she took all that stuff. She was okay. Lenora was a good person. I mean, from a young girl, she was Lenora. She got along with the teachers. She didn't have any problem. She really didn't have any problem with nobody. It's those who was jealous of her that had problem with her, and they would call her Miss Paget because her real father was white, of course, and he was a Paget, and everybody knew, they knew that, so we didn't have any we didn't have any recreation, no thing for us to do. We didn't have any of that when we grew up, we really didn't. They had a skating ring, and the blacks in Walter, but the blacks weren't allowed in it. But we had a couple of cousins that had what we used to call piccolo joints, okay? They had this big music box, and then you put a nickel or a dime in it. A nickel played one record, I think, a dime played two or whatever. And a lot of time we would go on the highway to my grandfather's house, and we'd go on down to Gene's place, and there'll always be the older guys down there. Somebody would have music on, and we'll be in there, and stuff like that. I'll tell you one thing she used to do. And she loved to smoke back in the days. Well, what she would do is, back then, the older people that smoked would throw their cigarettes away. And Lenora would pick it up, and sometimes she would take the leaves from the tree and smash it out when, like in the fall and the leaves are really dry. She would crush it up, and she would tear off the paper from the brown paper bag and roll it and wet it and lick it and light it and smoke it. One day she went in and she said, Janie, they were changing clothes. She said, I'm going to tell you, I haven't told nobody else, but I'm pregnant, So she became pregnant before she went to high school. It was not a consent thing, older guy did that to her, and it was really rough, very hard, and no, she didn't make it to high school. This happened to her before high school. She went to the ninth grade. She did her ninth grade. And then, I was talking to someone yesterday, Dot. I talked to Aunt Dot. And Dot was saying that, she know for a fact that Lenora, I think it might have been after she came to New York, went to school. She did get some education. She remember Lenora telling her of, some courses that she was taking. She did further her education after she left. Very smart. She was very intelligent. Always have been, honey. This is another reason why Lenora was, and you could tell from what you heard about her lifestyle, she was a very intelligent woman. Even as a young girl, she was smart, very smart. I'm sure she gained some of it from school, but I think some of it was from her, because that's the kind of person she was. And of course, she gained whatever she got. I'm sure she gained some of it from school, but that was Lenora. That's about it, But that's what it was. School days. They were good old golden rule days. That's what we called it. They were rule days. We had a song that we used to sing about school days, good old golden rule days, reading and writing and arithmetic. And that was the name of, that's what it was all about,